that are from Nigeria, that are joining from Nigeria is more than those joining from Ireland. So I would say we should start with Nigerians first. So permit me to welcome Baba Adeyeye. I'm sure we've posted meet our speaker, but just in case you've not met them, I'm just going to read a brief of their bio. Please, if you're not talking, just mute yourself. So I'm just going to read a brief of their bio. So Baba Adeyeye have a diploma in business management. Please remember to mute yourself if you're not talking. He's got BA in international relation in Paris. He is a result-driven business consultant and he's got over 30 years of proven record. So we have no other better person to talk to us really today than somebody that have over 30 years record, you know. His goal above all is to alleviate the administration burden of starting a company so that the founders can focus entirely on innovation, scaling, and market expansion. So he's here today. We have the privilege of having him speak to us about how to start your own business. So I'm just going to pass over to you, sir.
Yeah,
please, I'm going to mute those that are not talking. So if I mute you, please don't try to unmute yourself, just so that we can all enjoy this meeting. Okay? Thank you. Over to you, Baba Adeyeye.
Yeah, good evening, Lola.
Good evening,
Thank
sir.
you.
We can't see you.
Yeah, I think my so I'm trying to get a picture here, but it's not working.
Okay.
Yeah, so okay. It's saying that I should get myself. Okay, saying that I should allow my device to set camera, and I've tried to do so, but it's not. But I think you are hearing me very well, ma.
We can hear you loud and clear, sir. So go on, sir.
Thank you very much. So good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for the invitation. It's indeed a great pleasure to be a part of this. I used to know Mama. She was a very lovely wife of my brother and friend and co-partner for about 40 years now, Reverend Dr. J.T. Olawale. So indeed, this cannot be this occasion is only a joyful one for me participating in it. Thank you. So let me start like this. I hope this evening we'll be looking at registration and other things we'll talk about in Nigeria. And the first question one could ask himself is, why formalize even your company when you can just go about doing it? And then getting your business and doing your business, getting your customers and so on. Why spending money at the beginning to formalize everything? Well, given who is those that we expect in this program to be around this evening, like widows, widowers, families rebuilding, people stepping into something new, I want to begin with, not with forms or whatever things we need to fill, but with why any of this matters, why it matters. You see, a registration certificate is not paperwork. It is the thing that unlocks everything else about a business. Without it, you cannot open a business account, for example. You cannot sign an enforceable contract. Whatever you do without a registration will just be man no man, that is not legal, has no legal backing. So uh, we need to you cannot even bid for tenders or grants. And if you are doing business, definitely you want to make money, and the way you can make money is to get business. So you can't do that type of big business, legal business, and even government business that can fetch money and so on. And you cannot even protect the name you have worked to build. For example, if you are doing business without registration, that name can be taken up from you anytime. So because somebody may just see that you are making it, and he hears from the grapevine that you have not registered, You can just pick the name, go and register it, and before you know it, it'll be plagiarizing you sort of. So there is one distinction that protects your family more than any other. So I will say it early and say it very plainly that if you trade as yourself, you are personally liable for every debt the business owes. But if you form a company, your personal assets sit behind a legal wall. So you distinguish between yourself, your personal assets, and the business. So the house, the savings, the car, everything will be safe if you have a legal wall to cover them. That single idea is the reason we take the extra step of registering properly right from the beginning. So my question now is, who is trading today without any registration that is here in the house today? Please let's listen very well how we can go well so that can go about it so that we will be able to understand the steps that we need to take, because the process in Nigeria is now faster, it's now cheaper, and more digital friendly than it used to be. I remember in those days that we will gather registration for about a week or two. Then we will have to pay a staff of the Corporate Affairs Commission to go to Abuja, sleep there for another 1 week or 2 weeks before it will bring us just availability, that the name is available, not even the registration. But all those are just history now. So now, starting, the first thing that you need to do is that you have to choose the structure that you want as your business. Before you start paying any fees or thinking of facing any other thing, you have to think of the structure. And the simple option as structure is the business name, or what we call sole proprietor or partnership. So no separate legal identity with you. You are personally liable. So we call it business name or venture. Then you have another option which I refer to as a protected option. The private limited company, LLC, is called limited liability company, which is a separate legal entity from yourself, and it can issue shares to raise capital. And we also have for non-profits like NGOs, associations, and so on. We have what we call the incorporated trustee. It's used by foundations, churches, and associations. We also have company limited by guarantee. These are also used by charities and non-profits. It's a form of company too, but mostly they are used by charities, non-profits that are in form of maybe professional bodies. They want to register as, they don't want to register as a trustee, which is very different from company form. Trustee is the trustees are the ones liable. But if they want to register as a company, they will have to go for company limited by guarantee, and they will have shares too, like limited liability company. Then just to complete that cycle, we have what we call the group of companies, which is minimum of 4 companies, limited in nature, that are grouped with one together to form an entity. Companies often do this, or people, directors or business individuals often do this so that they bring their companies together and just for asset protection, risk management, tax optimization, financial power, and capital access. So they can use any of this one. Sometimes they consider operational efficiency, because if they have 4 or 5 companies, they can employ one accountant, for example, group accountant, that will foresee the account of the whole group of the 5 companies and so on. So because of asset protection, risk management, financial power and capital access, they can form what we call group of companies. And all these companies are registrable with the Corporate Affairs Commission, which is in charge of registering business in Nigeria. Now, what is to give room? If you expect modest turnover, my conclusion for this session, for this particular one, that's starting off, if you expect modest turnover and want to keep your administration light, then you can start with a business name, But as I've said, the turnover, your profit will be just the minimum. Now, or you can be what they call sole trader in some other places. Now, if you plan to hire people to work in your company, you want to raise money or carry real risk such as stock, premises, or equipment, then you have to form a company, particular a limited liability company. Now, the limited liability companies, they vary in shares. You can have as low as 100,000 naira limited liability company, but in most cases, and what is very, very common for a medium size limited liability company, starts from 1 million uh, share capital. It's not that you are going to use 1 million to register it. As we go on, I will tell you more of that, but the share capital that the company will be having will be 1 million in number. Now, the process of registry in Nigeria. Hello, do you have any question? I'm, li- I'm listening, sir.
Go
Okay,
on, sir. I think somebody unmuted, but the person has muted back.
okay. So the whole process is now digital, as I've said, through the Corporate Affairs Commission's online registration portal. It gives real-time name checks and paperless filing, and straightforward companies can be issued in a matter of days now. Before it used to be months, weeks, later it come to weeks, but now in few days we can get our companies registered. Specifically for business names or ventures, within between a day and 3 days. Sometimes when there is no problem on the portal, the network is okay, and all those things, we can get it within 24 hours. But now within 3 days, we are almost 80% sure that we can get our business names registered. While the limited liability companies, there's no problem with all the documentation that we have uploaded. Within 5-7 days, we should have our LLC registered. Now the steps are: one, we have to search and reserve a name. And how do we do that? We take or we submit 1, 2, 3 names to our CAC accredited agent. It could be a lawyer, accountant, it could be business consultant. So normally we go through this CAC accredited agents because there are other issues that have to be dealt with CAC. So they often prefer that, though you can try to do it online, but the rate of success or the rate of it being completely, succeeding and getting it done as it should be is often very low. So in most cases, these CS agents, they could be lawyers, it could be a law firm, it could be an accountant or a chartered accountant firm and so on. So you submit 2, 3 names and they will do what we call availability. And when the name is approved by the CAC, it can be reserved for a fee for 60 days, theoretically, but it's often better that when you start the process, you do not waste time. uh, to get everything done. So after you've selected the name, you've gotten the name reserved, you will choose the structure. Is it a liability, a limited liability company? Is it a business venture, and so on? For a company, you need at least one director and one shareholder. They can be the same person that will be both director and shareholder. And you must submit a physical Nigerian address that is not a PO box. Your share capital details, that is, if it's 1 million shares, for example, and you have 3 directors or 3 shareholders, what's the shareholding of each of the shareholders, and so on. So, and all the people that are directors and shareholders, you give details about them: address, email, their identification numbers, their signature, and so on. So normally the CAC will provide, then you have to give the object of your company. Then memorandum and articles, normally CAC used to give us the templates. So, but you have to give your object for setting up the company. So that is what will be used to build up the memorandum and article of association. Now, you have also to meet the identity rules. The NIN, which is National Identity Number, is now mandatory. You must have one. So if you are not even in Nigeria, you have to get your NIN done for you. And whenever you want to register, you need it. Your name on the portal must match your NIN exactly, or the system will flag and delay the process. So your date of birth, every information that is in the NIN has to match the one you supply to the CAC. And now I'm being told that all these are being under the new national NIMC law, that is National Identity Management Commission law, that was signed by the president last week or so. Every information, be the one the passports, the one for NIN, the one for your driving license, everything are now going to be merged. So if there is one that is not correct, then it will be flagged. I've had clients that have had such problems. They used different date of birth for in those days, but now they have to regularize everything. If not, they will not be able to register. Now, you will now submit all these, and on approval, you receive your certificate and your registration number, which is the RC number for companies, or BN, business name number for the ventures or business name. Usually, as I've said before, an accredited registration agent are those that carry out the process of registration in Nigeria with CAC, be they lawyers, accountants, business consultants, or the like. So there are some new developments with those compared with those that have had information on registration of business in the past 2 years. For example, now we used to have TIN, tax identification number. Now it has been changed to tax ID. And the organization that used to give all this and manage tax in Nigeria was called the Federal Inland Revenue Service. They are also the one that collect stamp duty during the registration process. You see, when you pay CAC for registration, it's not only CAC you are paying stamp duty too, and that is why the FRS and now called NIS, that's an NRS, Nigerian Revenue Service. They always have their offices wherever you have the CAC office. So they now give tax identification, tax ID from the NRS, no more TIN. Then there's a beneficial ownership which must be declared upfront. Anyone who owns or controls more than 25% of a company must be disclosed as a person with significant control at the point of incorporation. So this is also a new development. So when you are registering your company, anyone that you do not want to have a significant control, then you don't give him or her up to 25%, because immediately the CAC sees that he or she has 25% or more, they will just put him as a person of significant control, and that has implications in the director law. Now, the tax authority now has a new name, as I've said, is no more under the Nigerian Tax Act 2025, effective 1st January of 2026 this year. The Federal Inland Revenue Service is now the Nigerian Revenue Service. So also they have changed the TIN law. So now if we can talk briefly about the costs and timelines for registration. A business name is registered in roughly, as I've said, 1 to 3 days, but just take 3 days to 5 working days as a sure banker. So 3 to 5 working days we will have it, but a limited liability company, roughly 3 to 7 days, as I said, working days. We don't count weekend now. So, and official fees are modest. They could be around 11,000 for I know this former is about 22,000 now for business name. But normally by the time the consultant will ask his fees, it will be more than that, maybe running to about 35, 30 something, depending on the agency you are using. And for a, a business, and from about 40,000 for small companies. That's the official fees, about 40,000. But and that one varies with the share holding. So a company of 1 million shareholding, for example, will be less costly than that has 5 million. And because of some, to register a company, it depends on what they want to be doing. Some companies, for example, must have at least 5 million shares, like any company that wants to do with financial investment, financial activities, investments, and so on. It must have at least logistics, even must have at least 5 million uh, um, shareholding. So now they will not calculate each shareholding from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then they will give them the cost. So a purely local company needs minimum share capital of 100,000, as I've said, but on the average, the minimum capital of 1 million naira is mostly what gives us a medium-sized company. Any company with foreign participation must be capitalized at least 100 million naira. So this matters for diaspora partners. So, and the certificate,
Daddy,
I want,
sorry to cut you. Can you begin
yeah,
to round up, sir?
okay. I want to say that the certificate is a starting line, not a finish line. This is the part most people miss, and it is where you add real value. The obligations begin the moment you incorporate your company. You get your identification number, appoint auditors within 6 months, hold your first annual meeting, file annual returns, then register for VAT if you have to do it immediately. If not, those things they always attract a lot of penalties. Then we talk about the professional bodies you need. These are in two groups, the professional bodies. There are those that are for regulation. We call them regulators. You have like CBN, NAFDAC, NCC, NRS, NIPC, that's Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, which is necessary if the business is partially or completely foreign owned. then you have the central bank, you have the some others. Now, the bodies that you choose, which depends on what you are doing, you know, they could be the chartered accountant, ICANN for chartered accountant, ANA for law firms, you choose Nigerian Bar Association. Human resources, you choose CIPM. For engineering, you choose Korean. Marketing and advertising, you choose NIM, and so on. So it depends on your area of operation. Now, let me just mention this before I go. Common mistakes to warn people about is treating registration as the finish line. Annual returns and filings are what keep the company alive. Ignore them and you can be struck off. And mismatch identity details, as I've said for NIN, then being vague about what your business is about. Be very, uh, very accurate about what exactly you want to do. And we also used to warn that people should not mix personal and business monies when they start. So I wish that by this week you will choose some to start doing some things immediately, some doable steps that you take towards registering your company, like write down 3 possible business names from today. Confirm your NIN details are correct and consistent. Decide business name. Is it business name or company? And submit the 3 names for availability as soon as you can. And also begin the filing process with whoever you want to use. So I don't know if there are questions that you want to raise before I raise my own questions, or you want me to round up. uh, Okay, let me just round up before the questions come, if there are. So, as a sort of conclusion, I just want to state that registration is not the goal, it is the doorway. On the other side of the, the certificate are bank accounts, contracts, credibility, and protection for the people you love. So, whatever you build this week, build it on ground that is legally yours. God will help us. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you so very much. Please let's give clap emojis or love emoji, whatever you feel like. Please let's give it to him. I'm gonna say we'll save the question till after the meeting, just so that we can have equal time for both Ireland and Nigeria. So thank you so very much for that robust information, Baba Day. Yeah, yeah, thank you so very much. So I believe those of you in Nigeria that would like to register a business, or even if you're abroad and you want to have a Nigerian business, you know what to do now, or you know who to call. So, Baba, please put your number in the chat for everybody, just in case they want to contact you to register their business, or um, if they have any question for you. Personally, I'm sure some people want to talk to you one-on-one after this program. So please drop your contact, your phone number, your email address, so that people can reach out to you. So join me right now to call on our next speaker. I've told you a brief story of how I met him. We met before we met. How I met him physically, my first impression, how he changed my mindset even without speaking. How it's been, we fight a lot, shall ahead. But then it's been one person that I run to. When I receive any email from revenue, I tell my husband, I'm like, I want people to send message. And the first person I want to call is Mr. Dotun, you know. And then if he didn't pick my call, I will call and almost, yeah, the rest is the history. But then here we are. I'm gonna call up Chief Dotun Adegbeson to teach us how to start our own business in Ireland, Republic of Ireland. And even if possible, for people living in Nigeria, if they want to do business in Ireland, if that is possible, how to go about registering your business in Ireland. Please, we would like to see your video. Unfortunately, we couldn't see Baba Adeye's video due to technical issue. So please, Chief Adegbeson, we would like to see your video. And the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the honorable presenter, and for the brief introduction you made about how we met. That's always uh, something to remember, and I always want that kind of good memory that one can share together and see the progression going on. That's always my happy moment, to see people that I've met before and meeting them at their zero level, and they are up there doing the game the way and they should be doing it and doing it well. It's a pleasure. And this forum is an opportunity for us that have not got there yet, for us to also get to the place where we want, at the point where we want to be at the end of the day. I want to applaud my learned colleague from Nigeria for that wonderful presentation. I won't repeat all what he has said, because we have the same process back here in Ireland. The only thing that are different from all what he said is that we have different regulatory bodies that are different from Nigerian regulatory bodies. And that's the more reason why I said I won't repeat all the basic things that he has mentioned as to you want to incorporate your business. You see, registering business is different from incorporating a business. You can register your business, fine, register it as a business name. Yeah, that does not differentiate you from your normal self, because you are going to still be working and be putting pressure on your PPS number. And you know what it means when you put pressure on your PPS number, the tax rate, the tax band will weigh on you and will weigh on your income. So, and the difference that you can make is when you now incorporate this business name as a limited liability company. That is when you start to enjoy the privilege to avoid taxation where necessary and not to evade tax. Avoid taxation when necessary by using the right tools, right consultant, right accountant, and not to evade tax, but you can avoid tax. So he has said it all. He said one thing is to be incorporated, to incorporate your company. Another thing, which is a starting point, starting line for anybody, which you can go online, Google it and say you want to start business in Nigeria, or you want to start business in the USA, you want to start business in Ireland. Mr. Google, Mr. AI will give you all the information you want. But the information you cannot get is what I'm now telling you. So we always have a good starting point. The finishing and sustainability is always our problem. Once we get something incorporated, how do we maintain it? How do we sustain it? How do we achieve our business goal? The reason why we get incorporated. That is the question mark that many of us still need to talk to consultants. And depending on the sector where you are doing business, you talk to the regulatory body in those sectors, they give you right advice. They say if you are in Rome, you have to behave like Romans. So you try and do the right thing so that you'll be able to gain from the system whenever it's possible. And whenever you need to avoid penalties and late filing and all that, you know when not to do that. And you know when to do the appropriate thing. That's why I mentioned sustainability. And those are the things that you may not get from Mr. AI when you Google that. And that is what I'm trying to put on top of what my learned colleague in Nigeria have mentioned to you. So your things have to be straight. Your books has to be right. You have to try as much as possible to get updates on new business, statutory regulations, and your environment. So you are up to date as to what you are doing with your business. But this is always good. You can master your business, but you leave the rest to those people who are specialized in other ways that will make your business grow. You know when to call an accountant. You know when to call somebody that is tax expert. You know when to ask an HR on whatever employment law and all these other law that affect an employer. You know when to reach out. You have to spend money. There's nothing like, oh, I don't think I can afford this. So you think very well, count the cost before you venture into business incorporation. You have to try and follow the rules, the regulations. If you are not ready, there's no point in you incorporating. You have to spend, but you have to manage what you are spending for you to get the desired result. That is I've been in this country getting to 19 years now. I've been in operation. Apart from me working for the city council, I have my side also with my practice aside, where we've been able to assist, help business grow. Small, medium-sized businesses, businesses that belong to ethnic minority, which needs more integration into the Irish economy. We make effort in the last 18 years to assist them to get there. But though many are falling apart because they were not following the rules, many are no more in operation because they are not taking proper advice from the right source. And then what I will say and what I will encourage us, be it in Nigeria or in Ireland, take the right advice from the right source. Don't just work on mere say, or don't just work on, oh, let's say what Google is talking about it. Always seek second opinion from professional. That will help you a lot in navigating through what you need to navigate through and be at the top there. They say the sky is the limit. We all have wings that if we want to fly, we all have wings that we are given all the necessary brain wisdom by God. Now it's not left for us to make best use of the potentials that we all have. I was at a particular place. There was a presentation there. They were talking about somebody being a graduate, somebody not knowing anything at all in their head. And I objected to that presenter. And I said, there's nobody that doesn't have anything in their brain. We are all different. We are good at different things. Somebody who cannot read or write will be a good mechanic. And he knows the engine more than somebody who thinks that he's a professor. You can be professor in your own field, but somebody else can be master in his own area of where he knows what he's doing. So we all have these potentials, and it doesn't mean that because I'm not educated, then I don't have to incorporate my business. No, you give people that roles to do on your behalf, while you bring out the best out of the best potential that you've got. We are all skillful. We are all naturally endowed. It is now left for us to see somebody to encourage you. And like I say to you, it's not cheap. You have to make efforts to put hand into your pocket and pay for services. And that is when you get the best. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, let me leave you with the wonderful presenter, the host of this event, so that it can take it further. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Chief. Let's give him a round of applause or whatever emoji your hand can touch. Let's appreciate him as well. Thank you for your time. One thing I've really learned from both speakers of today is you need to do stuff legally. And it is not everything you can do by yourself. You should learn to employ the professionals to do things for you whenever you want to do things. If you're not well able to handle it yourself, it is not everything that ChatGPT will tell you. It is not everything that, Google will be able to answer for you. One thing I know is there is always that answer there online, but then when you need somebody to talk to one-on-one, ChatGPT will not tell you how to go about your revenue. They will not tell you how to evade tax. I can remember in Nigeria, I think it was last year, that we were seeing on social media that they were sending people some bills to pay for their business. You don't want to wait until that happened to you. And that is one thing I could grab from both of them, what they said. Employ professionals to guide you on how to register your business if you have not already registered your business. We have about 30 minutes to ask questions. So please, if you have any question, let me see your hand up, just so that we can ask them, our two professionals that we have tonight. Chief Dotun, can you please drop your email address as well, just so that if people want to contact you for one-to-one consultation, they can reach out to you. And also remember that we have this program. So today is done. We have Tuesday to Friday as well. So tomorrow we will be meeting with Dr. Ebun Joseph. I'll tell you a short story about how Dr. Ebun was equally able to impact my life. So I met Dr. Ebun just about the same time when I met Chief Dotun. But then we met on, he brought me to NIDO. NIDO is Nigerians in Diaspora, and he made me the president of the youth that year. But anyway, so I had to live up to standard, and I had to organize programs for youth, which always come out as a success. So Dr. Ebon was one of our invited guests at this beautiful program that we organized that year. And she said something at the meeting about yourself, how you want to place yourself in the society where you find yourself. She made reference that day to people working either in McDonald's or working as a cleaner or as a security man. No offense to all these professions, right? But then deep inside you, is that who you want to be? You went to school for a reason. You graduated for a reason. For those that are not graduate, there is something, especially Nigerians, when we were in primary school, your parents, your senior want to ask you, what do you want to become in the future? We all had that ambition. So because you're grown up now, why are you stopping? Why are you not chasing that? Why are you settling for less? So she said something to me that really stood by me. So we have our aim tomorrow. She made me bring my CV to our office. We sat down, we edited that CV, and I can tell you for a fact, within 1 week, I got a professional job after submitting that CV that she edited. And you know what? She's everything. I'll tell you more about her tomorrow. So she's going to be coming to motivate us tomorrow. And on Wednesday, by God's grace, we'll be having Nurse Tolu and Nurse Joy from Ireland and from United Kingdom, talking to nurses, especially if you're a nurse, midwife, whatever you have, health service, and you want to migrate to Ireland or United Kingdom. Wednesday is your day. Tomorrow is for everybody. If you know that you are below standard, you know that you want to be a millionaire, but you're a thousandaire at the moment, you need to join in tomorrow. You know that you're not where you want to be. You need to join in tomorrow because she's coming with fire to talk to us about how to upscale your career. So on Thursday, we have our able lab scientist, Madam Chika. She will be telling us how to transit from being a lab scientist in Nigeria. If you know anybody that does lab tech, please tell them to join in on Thursday. Tomorrow and Thursday, tell them to join in. Chika will be training us how to move your certificate from Nigeria to coming to work in Ireland. She is in Ireland. She works in Tala Hospital. She's up high there and she knows what she's doing. She transited from Nigeria to Ireland, so she's first-hand experience. So we'll be here on Thursday. If you know anybody that did lab science or lab tech, on Friday, we'll be having Olamide and Olayinka. Those two names are my little brothers. Olamide works in HR. If you're preparing for interview, whether you're going for visa interview as well, or you're going for work interview, please be here. They are both professionals. Olayinka will be teaching us on how to market. So my two brothers on Friday, they will be talking to us about HR matters and marketing and sales. So I believe every day is for everybody, except for Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday is for nurses, Thursday is for lab scientists and lab tech people. So Tuesday and Friday is for everybody. As long as you're breathing, you need all the stocks. So please, let's go back to the topic of today. We've got 8 minutes left. So if you have any question for Mr. Dotun and Mr. Adeyeye, please let me know. Either you want to drop your message, or you want to raise your hand, or you want to unmute yourself and ask questions. Thank you. Anybody?
Yeah, I've raised my hand.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I want to ask Mr. Adeyeye, since we used to do things with widowers, businesses like akara baking, simple business that we do they still have to register it? That's my question.
Thank you, my chief. Hello, sir. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah. I don't think they can, but what could be done is if they are, for example, in a group, if there are many in a town or in a location, we can register them into cooperative societies or a specialized cooperative setup so that they will be able to benefit from grants and from things that the local councils sometimes do, and even state government at times, they extend certain grants to these people. So when they are organized in a group, but individually, I don't think they need to go as far as that, but they can be organized into a group of cooperative societies.
Okay. Some other people ask.
Okay, if you have a question, please unmute yourself and go for it.
And hello,
Okay.
sir. Hello,
Okay.
sir. Hello, So, and then you see, there are some um, akara makers now that are not the roadside type that we used to know. There are some. I don't know whether you know the story of. I think you know this item 7. Item 7 food joint in Nigeria now that is
Yes.
really rapidly expanding. You see, it started like like an akara, though it was jollof, I mean, party rice roadside seller. So, but because it was by a young man who had the vision, so there could be an akara seller or akara sellers who had visions. My first answer concerned mostly these elderly women or people that are just frying by the roadside. But for someone who has a vision of transforming akara into something else, not the just selling by the roadside, yes, such a person needs to register. Yes, it needs to register. It can specialize on akara. And for example, there is one takeaway from this item 7. You know that, like in Ibadan now, I think they have about 15 or more locations, but they have only one production center. So there could be an akara seller, for example, that that aims at producing one type of akara with centers all over the place, and you will just have one production center and be distributing to different locations all over the place. So such a setup definitely needs to register, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much. I believe there are no further questions. So as we have tried to keep to time today, we will try to keep We'll try to keep to time tomorrow as well, please God. So please invite other people. Please share the Zoom link with them. When you did the registration, the Zoom link was supposed to come up automatically, but for some weird reason, it was not delivered. So please, as you're sharing the posters, the invitation, please do share the link, the Zoom link as well with it. And see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Thank you for joining me today. Please do share. Tomorrow, as many people as possible need to be here. Some people just need a little click, and I needed that little click as at when I got it. Thank God I met Mr. Dotun, and thank God I met Dr. Ebo. As at the time I met them, I was really, really settling for less. It was a time where I think I was pregnant at the time when I met Mr. Dotun. So you can imagine every kind of emotions running in me. But meeting those two people just kind of changed my life. It changed my story. It changed my mindset completely. I was going to settle for less, but guess what? I kicked myself. And here we are. And I can tell you for a fact that I can say maybe it's been, I'll say about 10 years now, and I'm still working with Mr. Dotto. He's 3P's accountant. He's been holding our hands. He did our business registration. I know I've sent so many friends to him that he has been able to handle their business registration. So please, if you want to register your business in Nigeria, do contact Adeyeye. If you want to register your business in Ireland, do contact Mr. Dotto Adegbeson. They are both chief, both of them. And Babade is the JP, Mr. Dotsu is the chief accountant, both of them. So please, they are professionals in their field. They are trustworthy people. And I get from what you can hear from what both of them said today, whatever you're doing, please do it legally. Because it gives freedom, it gives you that confidence, it gives you that peace of mind. Because if the police knock on your door today, you know you have nothing you're hiding. You're not hiding your business, you're not hiding your income, you're not hiding anything. You're doing it the way it should be done. So thank you so very much for your time today. Thank you, because we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you for keeping our mom's legacy. It was 5 years since she changed her dress yesterday. And we thought, instead of giving money every year like we would normally do, or instead of sharing rice and oil and Maggie and all of those things that we would normally do, we know rice will finish, right? But if we're able to give you this free information this week, imagine a nurse getting information through this platform and was really able to transition to Ireland or the UK in the next 1 year or 2 years. We've kind of helped a generation. If you have given them rice, that rice would have finished long ago. They wouldn't even remember it. But the information they get from this training for this 1 week, and if they're able to make use of it the right way, and they're able to transition into, I won't call it Japa, if they're able to professionally transition into Ireland or UK, I want to believe it's a blessing. So please be a blessing to other people by sharing this information. Looking forward to seeing you all through the week. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening. God bless you. Good night, everyone. Thank you to our two speakers. God bless you. Have a beautiful night rest. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Good
Bye.
night.
Thank you. Good night. See you tomorrow.